Okay, so tomorrow you have a test. You want to make sure you take your mix and match out and make sure you understand how to find the degree, label a constant, linear, quadratic, or or cubic, and then be able to name the polynomial. You'll also want to get out your equations, quadratic equations quiz. You're still going to need to know how to identify this as the intercepts formula. You'll need to be able to tell me that the points are the intercepts, and in this case, the intercept is going to be 4, 0, and then this one would be negative 3, 0. And the reasoning behind that is because the equation is a, and then it's x minus r1, r is the root or the intercept, and then this is x minus r2. So you can see that this is minus and this is minus, so therefore 4 is in place of the r1, so it intercepts at 4. Now you can see here this is minus, but this is plus, so this must have been minus negative 3 because it has to have the minus there. So in this case, the negative 3 is in place of the second root. Okay, so make sure you can do that. You need to be able to tell me this is standard form, and again, the c value is a constant. You need to be able to tell me that that's a constant. And then the point intercepts on the y-axis would be 0, 4, because the equation is ax squared plus bx plus c, so it's supposed to be plus. So this, again, the y-intercept is 4. You need to be able to tell me that. And then again, the vertex formula here, you need to be able to tell me that this is the vertex. The point on the vertex would be 4 and negative 5. And again, that's the vertex, the maximum or minimum. In this case, it's going down, so it would be a maximum. And again, because the equation is x minus h squared, and h being the x value of the vertex, so again, 4 isn't in place for the h, the minus should be there. But then this should be plus k, and it's minus k. So the y, the k value, which is the y value in the point, should be negative 5. So make sure that you can still do all those things on your test. You also have to be able to add and subtract polynomials, multiply binomials and trinomials, and do a little bit of factoring. Then I want you to get out, for tonight, get out your textbook on page 738, and we're going to go over a couple examples. So go ahead and pause the video and get that out, please. Okay, on 738, number 7, asks you to look at these two examples. They have two trinomials. You want to find how this one is different than this one. They have their 2x squared here. They have their constant here. And they found that negative 5 and 2x give you the center term. And same thing here. And then the first one asks you to, the first question says, compare the two given trinomials. What is the same and what is the different about the a, b, c, and values? And hopefully that you know in this standard form equation that it's ax squared plus bx plus c. So based on that, you should be able to take the a, b, and c value here and write a little sentence about what is same and what are different about those values. Then you want to go down here and say it says compare the factored form of each trinomial. What do you notice? Well, the factored form is it's a binomial form. So what do you notice about this two binomials and this two binomials? It should be obvious. Look at the signs. Then we want to get to here. It says choose from a list to write the correct factored form for each trinomial. So this is kind of getting you to look at the signs. So looking at here, we know we have an x squared. We know we have a 4. Here, this has to equal positive 4, okay? And then it has to add to positive 5x. So automatically, that's going to rule out this one because there's a negative 4. Oops. And it's going to rule out, and it's going to rule out the bottom one because that has a negative also. Oh, actually, no. This has a negative times a negative. That makes it a positive. So this could be a possibility. This is a negative times a positive. That's going to be negative, so that works. Positive times positive, that could work. Positive times negative, that would be negative. So we only have two possibilities that would work. So we know that this will give us x squared. This will give us negative 1 times 4, which is positive 4. This would be negative 1 times 4, which is negative 4. The question is, which one is going to give us a positive 5x for the center? So if we just look at the distributive property, this is going to give me a negative 1x. And then this is going to give me, oops, I meant to go here, a negative 5x. And so when we, or 4x, excuse me. So when we add those, negative 1x and 4x, so it gives me negative 5x. So that can't work. Here we'll have 1x and 4x, and 1x plus 4x is 5x. So this one should go here, x plus 1, and then x plus 4. And if we look at its attributes, this will help us later. They're all pluses, so these are all pluses, right? So now if we look at this one had to be negative, but plus 4. So that would give us this one here, because negative 1x and negative 4x is negative 5x. But negative 1 times negative 4 is positive 4. So my other one's going to go here, x, oops, minus 1, and then x plus 4. And so again, if we look at its attributes, look, we had negative here, we have negative here, we have positive here, we have positive here. So we have two different signs here, and therefore we have two different signs in the answer. So then looking at this one here, we have two options. We want plus 3, and then we minus 3. So we're going to look at this option here, and we're going to look at this option here. So automatically when I look at this, I know when I multiply my constants, they're going to give me negative 4, right? So I want to look at my center terms here. And looking at the center terms, this one was positive 3x, and this one's negative 3x. So I know when I multiply this two, I'm going to get negative 4x. And then when I multiply these two, I'm going to get these two terms, I'm going to get positive 1x. And if there's more negative in this case, so it's going to be negative 3x, so that's going to go here. So I'm going to put x plus 1, and then x minus 4. And you can multiply it out just to double check. Did I just put that in the wrong one? Nope, I didn't. Okay. So if I look here, again, we have negative 4, but this one worked because the 4 is, there's more negative, therefore the middle term will be negative. Okay, and so that leaves me with the last one, which is going to be x minus 1, and then this one's going to be x plus 4. And again, if you look at it, the middle term is positive, therefore I need the larger term here to be positive, because it's going to be 4x and negative 1x, which would give you a positive 3x. So I want you to go through and finish B and C, and then I want you to look at number 9. It says analyze the signs of the questions above. And then this one says if the constant term is positive, now you need to know the constant term, they're talking about the C value, then the options in the binomial factors are, so if that one's positive, we have two options. See, these were positive. So if these two are positive, I can have two positives, or I can have a negative. Oh, that was supposed to be negative. Didn't catch that, sorry. This was supposed to be negative, negative. Because a negative times a negative gives a positive. So when they're talking about the C value, they're talking about here. They're talking about if this is positive, what are my options for signs? So if we look at that, if the constant term C is positive, then the operations in the binomial factors have to be, they can be both negative and both positive, right? So we would write both neg. Or both positive. Right. This B says if the constant term is positive and the middle term is positive, then the operation in the binomial factors are. So it says the constant term is positive and the middle term is positive. So we're looking at this one. If the constant term is positive and the middle term is positive, what has to happen with the signs? They're both positive. So you want to go back and look at those and answer those questions, and then you'll be finished. I have one fun video I thought you would like to see about test taking here.
Time, thank you. Would you all please put down your pens and bring your papers to the front of the room? Thank you. Well done. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Oh, I'm sorry, you're too late. Gave you plenty of warnings about time. You failed. Sorry. Excuse me, do you know who I am? I had absolutely no idea.
Aha! I know who you are, so study for your test tonight. Good night.